Hey, Limit Breakers. Hope you're all doing awesome. It's a late night one tonight. I've been up since about 7 a.m. this morning and just signing off for the night. But I noticed I haven't jumped on live tonight other than showing up for the round table in Coffee with Dan briefly. And then I had to duck off for another client meeting. Then I had another meeting straight afterwards, and then I had to finish off some client work. So it is now 11:15 at night. So yeah, there's my whole day since 7 a.m., which is interesting for Monday to start the week. I don't think I've stopped. And despite that, I had no drive, I had no motivation, I didn't feel like I had anything pushing me through today at all, or at least pulling me through. But I just got on with it and kept going until I finished off most of the stuff that I needed to do. It reminds me of the corporate days when I used to get about 6, get into the office for 8, and now I don't finish till about like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and then have a very very disconnected lifestyle. But obviously working from home is a bit different. Probably not healthy because I had my intentions to go for my walk, do my workout. At least the only thing I did get through was my meditation in the morning, and I'm glad that I did get that out of the way. Otherwise, I don't think I'd even fit that in anywhere else. I may do a quick hit workout after this, just so my body knows it's had a workout. But I hope you're doing all well. How did I push through myself with no drive, no incentive, no motivation? And generally, I don't rely on those anyway. But I do understand a few people, well, at least I know a few people do always say they need the motivation or they need to kick up the ass and all of that stuff, which I don't believe is true anyway. I know there are days where it just sucks, or there's going to be back-to-back appointments, back-to-back calls, and that you won't have the time to even settle down, or at least even have a breather. And what I've learned over the years, it's not about the motivation, it's not about the incentives, it's not about the drive. It's all about just showing up and getting on with it. And there will be times where it just feels like, when does this day end? And sometimes, but when you are working on projects that you do enjoy, projects you do love, working with clients you do love working with, and you see clients' transformations, especially for me right now, it's all about digital transformation. It's about personal transformation. And for that, I'm grateful for. And that's what pulls me through. It's the gratitude. It's the blessing that I get to work with these kind of clients. The blessings that I do get to work on these kind of projects, especially helping my clients take their business online. Evening, Kat. Great to see you. And it's been one of those days where, yes, I probably didn't feel like doing anything today, but I've been more productive today than I have been last week, I would say. Last week was just back-to-back calls about projects and proposals. But this week, or at least today, was more about getting things done, implementing, getting the actual work done, seeing the transformations happen slowly but surely. And it's one of those weird times, especially when it gets, you wake up dark and you finish the night dark, but then I'm always been a night owl, so it makes no difference to me anyway. It's been one of those interesting days, right? And sometimes you do get those, the tough days where you just feel like it's long, it's slow. I wouldn't even say it's slow. Like today just flew past. Since this morning, since 7 a.m. as I was up, I was like, woke up buzzing. Wasn't really hyped up to do things, but sometimes you just got to pull through and just go, what have I got on and what do I need to get on with? And I think the whole thing about you need to have motivation to get started and drive and all that stuff. I was like, well, I'm just grateful that I get to work on these kind of projects, and I get to help my clients with the problems they have. To provide digital transformation, to help them take their business online. That's probably one of the most fun things I get to do. People. I always talk about having fun. Helping my clients get them online and have a business online is fun, is exciting, is a blessing, right? I've been in the online world for over 10, 15 years now, probably 15 years. When was it? 17, 18? Wow. It's been like 20 years, I think. I was 30. I was 10 when I started online. But anyway, now that I get to help my clients with their online businesses, it has been more exciting, more fun, and that's enough for me to keep me as a driver, really. I suppose it's finding what drives you. So things that you need to think about if you don't have the motivation, the drive, the incentives to show up, then you've got to ask yourself, I'd say 3 questions is, why am I showing up online? Who am I showing up for? And what am I showing up online for? Again, similar, but who are you doing it for? Who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for your children? You're doing it for your family? You're creating a legacy? You're leaving a legacy? You're leaving an impact? And then why are you doing it? Are you here to be more inspirational, be more influential, create more of an impact? And I found these common elements between people. I've reconnected with a few friends during this lockdown, and what pulled them through out of the dark times was things like wanting to make a change in the industry, influence, inspire, and impact the industry. Like some of my speaking friends, they said, we're going to change up the speaking industry. It's got a really bad industry or really bad name about selling on stage and upsells and, the whole online marketing world and all of that stuff, right? And so their drive is to show up to even better, to do better, to provide more results, to provide more client results, and actually provide transformations that changes people's lives instead of these money-making programs that don't get people results, that don't get people any transformation, and it leaves them not any better than they started in the first place. And sometimes those are the kind of drives that you need, and a refresher about why did you start in the first place? Why did you show up online? Why did you decide to be online? And some of them may be because you had to change all your services from offline to online. But how else can you make a difference online? How else can you do better online? And what can you do to provide the online world or the space you're in better than you found it, better than you had it, right? You may not have had it, the good things that you have now, but what can you do provide to give more expertise, give more advice, and help others that are struggling right now? And I found this is the online world is my world, but I haven't been showing up properly. I haven't been doing my part. I haven't been able to provide, or I haven't been providing high value information or content or transformation to people other than my clients. But that's why I've been creating content every day now. I've been jumping on lives, showing up daily, providing tips and advice on how to thrive online, how to show up online, how to stay up without burning out, because the online space is so easy to have a burnout, especially when you're doing stupid hours like I am, from like 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. and only still thinking about winding down. But my secret within my crazy days is that I do have block times, right? I do schedule at least 10-15 minute break in between every hour or 2 hour blocks that I have doing a power work block. And the work blocks has been probably the most productive and most useful practice I have in my routine, is having those 2 hour work blocks where I just have no distractions, have some music on, and just power through and get things done and just get on with it, and no distractions, no messing around, no social media. And when I do post on social media, it's during my breaks. And so there are times where I do go, stroll back on and post a meme, post a post, put something out there. But I just get back on the work block and the task at hand. So that is what pulls me through in Drive with no motivation. And people have been asking me, what's your secret to your drive and getting things done and being productive? And it's all in the routine, right? In the routine that on my website, the Step Up and Show Up Without Burning Out guide. It's on my website if you haven't already got it. And there's the next thing that I will be doing is following up for those that did download my book and see if they implemented it, because that was one thing that I created and I use myself, and it's been something that it's been useful for me. It's been a great tool. But what I haven't created yet is a follow-up, just to see how everyone is implementing it. It's all good and well consuming information, but do you really know it if you haven't implemented it? And that's something that I've been working through this last 6 months, at least, is implementing all the things that I've learnt over the years on helping other businesses and companies building online businesses, is implement it for myself. Everything that I'm doing right now is things that I created for businesses. How I scaled online businesses and growth for companies, I'm doing it for myself. So I'm implementing everything that I've learnt, and I'm also implementing it into the things for my clients, right? And all of this is giving me a huge indication about what I do know and what I don't know, right? What are my weaknesses in the areas and what are my strengths in the areas, right? Yes, when I was working in a team, I got support from the team. I had people doing copy. I had people doing social media planning and all of that. So I didn't have to think about those. But now that I have to do it for myself, I've had to re-strategize myself. I had to re-plan. I had to arrange everything, how I do things, how I did my work day, how I did my activities and my tasks, and how I manage my projects, right? All of that has changed because now I'm doing it for myself instead of working in a company. But the principles are still the same. The strategies are still the same. It's all about implementation. It's all about getting it done and systemizing it and automating it and then scaling afterwards. And that is how I'm going to finish it, because it's late and I want to keep it short. So I hope that helps, and I will see you all tomorrow in the next live. So peace out.